Well, nothing's changed in Fitzroy Street.
No. I wish we could have kept it.
Yeah.
It's hard to think that it's not ours anymore.
I know, actually, when you look at it, you still think it's all yours.
Yeah. Turn the clock back and not sell it and continue on, I think that would have been a better outcome.
I don't think a minute goes by that you don't think about it. But we're settling into family life, I think.
We've always been busy taking care of everybody else's family, and now it's time to adjust to taking care of our own, which we've missed out a lot of.
Yeah. After Gatwick closed, we still kept ourselves busy by visiting everybody and all that sort of thing. We've always had properties outside of Gatwick to rent out to people, and that was Mum's line of business too.
Hello, ladies.
Hello, dear. Are we welcome?
Of course you is. Well, since the closure of the Gatwick, I've been just maintaining lawns, looking after the 2 houses here, making sure the lawns are looking good. I just keep myself occupied. It makes me feel better. And I've missed the Gatwick a lot. I love that place. It was beautiful. I enjoyed it. They've been back.
Might be a possum, we don't know yet.
I think it's just them being there. Every time I come home from work, they'd be there, smile on their face, asking if I had a good day or a bad day. Always there, always happy. And I miss them.
I think about 16 of the 80 that we were left with, 16 came with us. We get to see them every other day, just about.
Tibor, it's just me, Rose.
The older ones went into some SRSs. Community housing took on a few. I think they took on 11. I'm not sure exactly how many they took. And the rest went into private rental boarding houses. But of that, I would say maybe close to half have already been evicted and are out on the street because the new landlords find them difficult to deal with, and 7 have passed away.
You see so many people sleeping rough, because I walk up and down Fitzroy Street quite often just to keep in touch with people that we knew.
Where are you staying?
I just up here in a tent behind the cricket grounds.
In a tent?
Yeah.
Well, if I get another place,
Yeah.
we'll put you in it.
It just breaks your heart because there was a huge opportunity for the government or the council to renovate Gatwick as a homeless institution. And they wouldn't call it homeless. I hate that word because while they were at Gatwick, they had a home that wasn't homeless.
It looks very beautiful. It always looks beautiful.
I think the heart of the Gatwick is
Almost like, yeah, ripping the heart out of something. Like it's... Actually, when it was being pulled apart, it was like having your child in the operating room and you could hear it cry from the outside. We can still make out which room would have been whose, yeah, just by counting the windows. Because every window has a story. Every window reminds us of a particular person that lived in those rooms.
I wish I could turn the clock back. I think I would have fought a little bit more to keep it. The pressure was just too much. Actually, I got sick just before the Gatwick closed and ended up in hospital and was put in a coma for 4 or 5 days. I just collapsed. It was just so hard to give up something that you've been doing all your life. And just the worry of where everybody was going to go to and how we were going to do it, I think it just all caught up with us. Every resident that came to visit me said they were my son because I was only allowed immediate access. Cleaning the rooms was an emotional thing, and that made me feel good to have them left presentable. It was like the grief that you'd feel if somebody died. Actually, I went to see a psychologist and she said that's exactly how it would feel. And she said you go from being super angry, being super sad to super angry to that's just the way you have to cope with it. Every time the grandchildren went past, and they would say something like, oh, there's Nanny's house. And even my children would think of it as their grandmother's house. 100 babysitters we had, cricket down the hallways. My children loved it. Actually, it always made you feel like you were going home. And even walking down the corridors, you'd feel that Mum was still there, my mum. So it was definitely the soul was in the people and not just the bricks. So on the boards, they all look sort of the same, but that's our one. How do you feel? I'm happy. I'm so happy that I've got some back. Yeah. Buying a little piece back just makes me feel just that little, like, I've still got that little connection. And I just hope that one day when I can talk about it easier and the kids say, oh, so what was Gatwick like? You could just say something like, this was a place where sad people used to come to look for rainbows, I suppose. And they would just come in and feel better and find a rainbow and go.